Welcome to the True Me podcast with your host, Nicole M. Nicole is an experienced business person with over 25 years of corporate success. She founded True Me Coaching in 2012, and she now helps corporations and individuals around the world to achieve authentic success and lasting happiness. Nicole provides warm guidance with a genuine program designed to enlighten and inspire. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hello, this is Nicole M. Welcome to the 6th podcast of this series. I hope you have had a wonderful week and that you are getting more and more aware of how your patterns of thoughts have started to change as you are feeling more optimistic, more empowered, stronger and happier. This week we will talk about the emotion of stress as a barrier in living a satisfactory life. It is true that the vast amount of expectations coming from ourselves or from our environment are often overwhelming and lead us to situations we feel that we cannot control or handle successfully. This is how stress is created. It is one of the most common emotions we are forced to face almost every day. And it is also true that many of us, especially men, have difficulty admitting to anxiety issues or having panic attacks, thinking that this will destroy the image of a strong person who is always in control, which is what is demanded by society. This, however, is only a stereotype. Recognizing the problem and treating it can safeguard the quality of our lives, as such issues can make our everyday most unpleasant. They are detrimental to our mental and spiritual health, and they distract us from enjoying a carefree existence. It is important that we do not neglect them. It is important that we take action to get ourselves out of those situations. Stress levels may vary from simple worry to panic attacks, depending on the situation and the way we interpret what is happening. It also depends on the frequency of which we become prisoner to it. The more often it happens, the more it escalates, the more intense it becomes. These situations can be, for example, sitting for an important examination, a professional meeting, a public appearance, a pressing financial situation, a boss who often resorts to shouting, an overloaded schedule, and so on. While the feeling of anxiety or stress can have numerous causes, its deeper roots usually lies in thoughts, most often unconscious, of inferiority and inadequacy we may harbor. Thoughts of "I am not good enough" or "I am not enough." These negative beliefs rid us of our self-confidence and make us feel unable to carry out any activity, from the most demanding ones, such as public speaking, to the simplest ones, like having a conversation at a friendly gathering. Now, most people suffering from stress and anxiety create a program of daily activities in order to feel absolute control. Any unintentional change in this program, however, can create stress, an anxiety attack, or even a panic attack due to the loss of control and the resulting unmanageable emotions. This is a very painful situation, and when it occurs, tranquility and joy is lost. We live in constant fear of today and the future. Everything seems like a huge test of our abilities, and we exhaust ourselves as we feel that we need to constantly prove ourselves. Our nervous system gets so addicted to this feeling that for no reason at all, even when things are going well, we continue to reproduce it, thus constantly remaining in a state of fear and stress, not knowing how we can break free from the vicious cycle. This pattern can also lead us into a state of confusion, not knowing what it is we want or how we can achieve it. As a result, when we act on something we feel dissatisfied, or when we do not do anything, we feel even worse, as it is a proof of our inability to ourselves. More often than not, we are unable to identify whether our worry and anxiety have crossed normal boundaries. two certain indicators are the frequency and intensity of those feelings. That being said, whenever we find ourselves immersed in them, it is time to take action and start working on ourselves in order to master these emotional and psychological conditions, which are disempowering and detrimental to our health, either physical, mental, or spiritual. So let me give you some ideas on how you can recognize if you have a problem. Are you experiencing excessive worry? The most common form of anxiety is the one we suffer on a daily basis when confronted by any kind of issue, big or small. How can we know if we're worrying too much, though? First indication could be if we catch ourselves constantly focusing on our shortcomings or having negative thoughts over a long period of time. These thoughts might cause us depression, feelings of helplessness, anxiety, panic, and exhaustion. If any of the above is happening to you, then you may be experiencing levels of anxiety that have surpassed the normal and have started to have a negative effect on your health. Therefore, if you feel that you are suffering and dysfunctioning as an immediate result of worrying excessively, you should probably search for a solution and may need to seek a specialist's advice. Another reason might be having a deep feeling of self-doubt. Inferiority issues often lead us to never feeling sure about ourselves and to question our judgment or even our self-worth. These put us in the exhausting position of continuous worry about what to say and how to act. In this case, we greatly depend on others' opinions to make decisions, and oftentimes the different views we receive make it even harder, taking our worry and stress to unbearable levels. The next behavior that might be an expression of deep stress is perfectionism. If you have ever caught yourself or others continuously seeking perfection to the point where everything is criticized, or if you are feeling severe stress over the outcome of various situations or over the possibility of making mistakes, then you might be suffering from some kind of stress-related disorder. It can be the outcome of a deep or unconscious thought in disguise, like, I might make a mistake, or I am insecure of the worth of what I'm doing. Next symptom to mention is sleeping problems. Most of us have lived the experience of being unable to sleep. Insomnia occurs regularly when we are under extreme stress. Our mind cannot stop processing thoughts, and this becomes a cause of irritation and fatigue. When this problem becomes chronic, it may have significant health ramifications and must be addressed, as it is impeding us from operating at our higher level. Chronic indigestion is another possible expression of stress. Emotions have an effect both on our health and our physiology. Stress is no exception. It usually affects our body by creating stomach ache, cramps, flatulence, constipation, or diarrhea, and generally any digestive system disorder. Although all of these symptoms can be caused by other factors besides stress, the combination of the two can create a very bad situation. In general, the digestive system is prone to psychological stress. Moreover, the occurrence of chronic indigestion can also cause social anxiety, making us feel exposed and truly helpless. So, we get in a vicious cycle of disempowerment. Next symptom could be irrational fears. Some of us face extreme stress in certain situations, such as traveling by plane or being in crowded areas, or even fear of an animal or insect. These phobias are usually based on non-real or meaningless danger and may be a sign of a psychological dysfunction. The hard part is that such fears are not always obvious and occur only when faced with the situation. Only then do we discover that we are paralyzed by a feeling of intense fear, which can put the brakes on our activities. However, although these symptoms only occur occasionally, they are a clear indication that there is something wrong, something deeper, that elicits in circumstances that we cannot control. This is definitely a situation for which we should seek expert support and help. Stage fright is another expression of intense stress. Most of us feel slightly nervous before appearing in public, and this can be considered normal. However, when our worry is intense and lasts for days or even weeks, both before the event, worrying about how we will manage, and after, worrying about the impression created on others, we may be approaching a social disorder or a social phobia. If we feel that situations like this define our worth and determine whether or not we are accepted socially, we might cause ourselves insomnia and exhaustion from trying too hard before the event, a panic attack during the event, and great disappointment or even depression after the event if we are not satisfied with its outcome. These are all very negative situations that demand attention immediately, as the quality of our life depends on it. Agoraphobia is another expression of intense anxiety. When we have low self-esteem, we may often find it hard to deal with simple, everyday situations, as for example, talking to a stranger, or eating in public, or even leaving the house and socializing outside. These are all situations that can create social anxiety. We feel as if everyone's attention is focused on us, as if we are being judged and disapproved of. This causes great anxiety, perspiration, nausea, and difficulties in breathing and speech. Such symptoms may be the cause of major discomfort, and we end up avoiding social encounters altogether, therefore failing to meet some of our basic needs, such as connecting with others, exchanging ideas, sharing tenderness or love. That is, we miss living any emotion that arises from creating and maintaining meaningful relationships. And finally, panic attacks. Panic attacks are usually a strong and sudden occurrence of terror that can happen even to the strongest of people. This may occur if we suddenly find ourselves in situations facing life and death, that is, situations that go beyond our control area. This may create an unprecedented feeling of helplessness that shatters the image that we have of ourselves. Panic attacks occur with intense physical reactions, such as difficulty in breathing, numbness, perspiration, rapid heartbeat, dizziness, intense pain in the chest or stomach, or changes in body temperature. Feelings of helplessness and fear may only last a few minutes, but leave us with great distress and shock without being able to react. Panic attacks are very tricky, as those who have experienced such crises are usually constantly and subconsciously vigilant, fearing when and under what circumstances they will experience a new crisis, a fact that is enough to put them in a state of frequent or even permanent anxiety. Whatever the origin of anxiety, it is important to know that it can be overcome instantly, but also in the long run, no matter what its form or intensity. I am going to give you some ideas on how you might do that. An immediate way of dealing with anxiety or a panic attack is through breathing exercises. Through breathing, oxygen circulates in the brain, the body relaxes, and there is clarity about what is actually happening. Train yourself in the following. Take deep breaths and inhale in 4 counts. Then hold your breath for as long as you can and exhale in 4 counts. Repeat this process until you feel your mind and body relax. You should practice this daily to help yourself become familiar with the relaxation that breathing can offer. In this way, the process will become faster and more effective when you need it. Change your focus. Take your mind off the unpleasant situation. We did say in a previous podcast that one thing we definitely have control of is where we focus our attention. If something is bothering you, try to focus your attention on something else. Distance yourself from what is happening and immediately change activities. Go for a walk, sing your favorite song out loud, or watch a pleasant film. By doing that, you sever the neurological ties that connect you to the event, consequently helping yourself calm down. Thus, it is very important that you do not let your mind dwell on what stresses you. You must choose to focus on something empowering. One easy way to do that is to think of a positive thought and repeat it to yourself regularly during the day. Just to give you some ideas, you can get inspired or even choose one of the following statements to support yourself to get out of your usual stressful thoughts. I have control over myself and my life. I am sufficient. I always have been and always will be. I can cope with any situation that presents itself. There is always time if I choose it. I am free from anxiety. I always do my best, and that is enough. I forgive myself for overdoing it. I am protected. Nothing bad can happen to me. There is no failure, only lessons to be learned. I take them and move on with my life. I allow peace and tranquility to settle in my mind. Another thing that you can do to support yourself get rid of stress is to introduce to your life any meditation technique that works for you. Lots has been said about meditation. It is an amazing modality, as it leads us to contact our inner self and find our truth. If you're interested in trying it, you can use the short meditation at the end of this podcast. All you have to do is find a quiet place and surrender your senses to the journey of meditation, connecting yourself to feelings of peace, tranquility, and faith. Your neurological system will gradually get used to these beneficial emotions, and you will find yourself feeling them more and more often, or even on a permanent basis. Why would you want that to happen? The answer is simple. When you are calm, you can deal more effectively with anything that comes your way. You want to be able to do that all of the time. Correct. Meditation with a bit of a practice can support you get and remain in such a state. Now, anxiety and stress are usually the results of worry and fear of what will happen in the future. If you're stressed about something that happened in the past, then you basically fear it happening again in the future, correct? Thus, an extremely effective way to deal with a situation like this is to connect with a safe, happy, and successful future. This can be achieved by creating a specific vision for yourself in which your future shines brightly. This will help you immediately feel more relaxed. Connect to this future daily. Find time during the day to imagine or write about this great future. You will become familiar with emotions created by the sweet longing of this much-wanted reality. Gradually, this future will seem within your reach and capabilities. In this way, your stress will evaporate. Choose to talk about your future in a positive way, expressing your excitement and faith in all it holds. And I'm going to say again this. If there is a chance that you are in doubt about whether you are experiencing severe stress that borders on a psychological disorder or the possibility of a panic attack, you should seek immediately help in order to find the cause and end this predicament. Search for a solution directly and rid yourself of stress. You do not want it. You do not need it. It is a block to your true potential. It is a barrier to your goals. So what you can do this week is sit with yourself and realize if and how often you succumb to stress, and then choose one way to start controlling it or seek help. I will end up this podcast with a very small meditation so that you feel its amazing benefits. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Take another deep breath in 4 counts. Hold your breath for 4 counts and then let it go in 4 counts. Let's repeat that. A deep breath in 4 counts. Hold your breath for 4 counts and then let it go in 4 counts. Now, take a deep breath in, drawing in light from everywhere in your surroundings as you do. Fill yourself with light until you overflow. Radiate back light to your surroundings, pure crystal light that comes from the very core of your being. Think now of an area of your life you would like to change, such as a situation, a relationship, a career, or a money issue. Start changing this area by changing the way you think about it and by using your imagination in positive ways. As you hold this area in your mind, imagine how you would like this area to be. Now, picture even more and better than you originally imagined in this area. Using your imagination, expand the possibilities for this area of your life. If any thought comes up that says you can't have this, surround it with the light coming from your core until it dissolves. Create several positive thoughts about why you may have this in your life. Experience now some of the future feelings of expansion, growth, and joy that you will feel as what you are creating in your mind becomes your reality. As you imagine this area in your life, sense the light of your higher self all around you, adding light to this area. Now, open to receive your higher good in this area. Trust in the universe to bring you the best and highest in exactly the right form and timing. You are an unlimited being. You know you can have anything you want. Your choices and possibilities are expanding every day. Your dreams come true. Now, think of one small positive step you can take today to create what you want in this area of your life. And next, see yourself taking this step. You will take it as soon as you are done with this meditation. Allow what you want, or even better, to come into your life. You deserve to have it. You open your heart and receive it. Take a deep breath in and let it out. And when you're ready, open your eyes. That is all for today. I hope you have found today's podcast useful. Write to give me your feedback at nicole@trueme.co. And with this, I wish you all the best. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the True Me podcast. For more information on Nicole and True Me coaching, head to trueme.co. If you would like to request a personal or corporate session, you can send an email to nicole@trueme.co anytime.